Hello, hello. Welcome to day 1164 of Connecting the Thoughts. Good for today is it can either be real or perfect. Hmm. It can either be real or perfect. And what do I mean by that? Well, in and I'm going to focus today on relationships. So I feel that relationships can either be real or they can be perfect. Yes, I am someone who doesn't believe in the concept of perfection. So maybe this is where it's coming from. Let's look deeper into this on the other side of the show reel. Tag a friend who needs to receive this message. And if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe to the channel. Hi, Cindy. So, yes, conversation today is on it can either be real or perfect. Let's look at that on the other side of the show reel. And if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe to the channel because here's where I post daily videos on the little things that make life big. Welcome back to the conversation on day 1164 of Connecting the Thoughts. Good for today is it can either be real or perfect. And I'm just going to use the context of relationships here today. So when I look at relationships, I feel a relationship has to be real. A relationship has to be real because when it's real, it can weather the storms. It can stand true. It stays rooted. It is grounded. It is stable. But if you're trying to make a relationship perfect, then it becomes a little difficult because, again, as I've always said, my definition of perfect might not be the same as your definition of perfect. So while you might be trying to make it perfect as per your understanding of the other person's understanding of perfection, maybe you won't quite get there. Maybe you won't really get there, and it will feel a little overwhelming and tiring. So it just takes away all the juice from the relationship. It takes away all the love and all the connect in the relationship if you're trying so hard to make it perfect. I think the beauty of building anything, thank you for the love. I think the beauty of building anything is to keep it real. Even your conversations with yourself, keep them real. Thank you, Dale. The perfect subject. Isn't that ironic that you call it the perfect subject? But yes, you know when you keep things real in relationships, it's like both people are able to accept each other as they are. There are no there are no expectations. Yeah, because it's when you have those expectations, that's of a perfect relationship, that's when things go haywire. That's when you're calling out for each other's mistakes. You're showing them how they didn't do something, or stuff like that. And there's lots of complaining that then begins to happen because you were looking for that perfect picture, which never is going to be. I'm sorry. So even when we take it a step back and we look at our relationship with our children, for instance, telling them that, oh my god, you're such a good boy, you're such a good girl, or telling them you're so perfect, doesn't serve them, because they then begin to feel a level of um, a level of wait, I'm looking for the word. This is very interesting. They feel a sense of owning. They feel like this is theirs, it's a given, they need to, this is theirs. I mean, they're good, they're perfect as they are. And then when they get outside in the real world, um, whoever's watching, if you can help me with that word, because I know I haven't used the right word, and I know that there's a different word that I want to use over there. Cindy, Dale, maybe you could think of what I'm trying to say. So when you're constantly appreciating a child, or just taking their level of self-worth up so high and over the roof, then they begin to feel a sense of I'm stuck again with that word, guys. So they feel that sense of it's not ownership. It's definitely not ownership. It's wait, what is it? Anyway, you get what I'm saying, right? When you're constantly appraising somebody, then they feel that, oh my god, this is a given. This is mine. I am always going to receive this. I am perfect as I am. However, when they step out into the real world, that's when they realize that, oh, there's more to me. There's more that can be done. Or different people give them feedback in different ways, and then that begins to kind of that begins to hurt their sense of self-worth. I know what you're saying, but can't think of the word exactly. It's just like it's like the tip of my tongue, but I can't seem to pick that word. So maybe because I'm not the person who's always doing that, hasn't done that with my kids. I've said things to them as it is. I've been as realized as I can with them for their feedback, and I'm sure if they watch the video, they will vouch for that I've been as real as I can be with feedback. I've never beaten them down. I've never told them, you should do better. Okay, I have at when didn't know better. But when I began to understand how the mind works, when I went on my own personal journey of self development and self mastery, that's when I realized how the mind truly works. And then I changed my ways, because I realized that yes, giving somebody feedback is so, so important, and giving it in the right way. Starting out with telling them what they did right, uh, plugging in what they could have done better, and then closing that conversation on a feel good note, so that when the person leaves from the conversation, they have not just got what they can do better, but they've also got the things that they did good, and they've also got a feel good factor. So there are two layers of goodness, and then you sandwich the proper feedback, or the areas of improvement into it, so that people are looking at it from a very different perspective, and they have a feel good feeling. If you only give them the stuff that they need to improve on, which a lot of us tend to do, then what happens is they go back feeling a little drained, a little sucked out, and a little like, oh my god, I didn't do anything good at all. I only need to improve. So that's what the unconscious mind then picks up. So conversation for today is about, it's either real or perfect. Again, I am not an advocate of perfection. I believe in keeping things real. Maybe this is why this quote comes from there, this thought comes from there. I'd love to hear from you. Would you like something that's perfect, or would you like it to be real? When you go, and something that comes to my mind is when you go to the Madame Tussauds wax museum, the images, the models that are made are as close as they can be to the person. They'll never be perfect, no matter how many pictures, how many visits the person has made at the museum, no matter how many times the artists have seen or spent time with the person that they are making the model of, but they will never ever get it right, because beautifully said, Cindy says the only perfection to me is God. And yes, God has made us, and if we are to create a replica of us, and as a wax model, as a painting, as anything, you can't get there. You just can't, because we're made perfect as we are by God, by the ultimate creator. Thank you, Cindy, for that. So these are my thoughts about keeping things real and not aiming for perfection, because I'd rather have the real deal than something that is an attempt to be perfect, which will never be perfect. So if this conversation has been of value to you, please write in comments saying, I am real. I want you to be real, people. Just be real. Be real in your conversations. Be real in your relationships. Be real with yourself. Be real with yourself, and stop aiming to be perfect, because, at least for me, perfection doesn't exist. So I am perfect in comments if this has been of value to you. Tag a friend. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Cindy. Tag a friend who needs to receive this message. Maybe someone who's struggling to be perfect, and give it some love, some like, and share. If again, as I said, we live in a world that everyone's wanting to be perfect, but I think to be real is the more important thing. I am real in comments. If this has been of value to you, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you would like to reset for success, which is my upcoming mastermind, here's the link, and I look forward to having you on board. That's the registration link. And until tomorrow, keep smiling, keep shining, stay safe, and thank you for connecting the thoughts with me. Thank you so, so much.